There are some incomparable tales told within. Andy's story tells of the rise and fall of disco, the inside goings-on of the record business, of jazz, world tours, pianos, politics, family disputes, recording studios owned, singing, double dealing, female singers, summer stock, pirate radio stations, songs written, industry prejudice and fear, tragedy, heartbreak, recordings produced and engineered, and handling mega success and changing times with grace. I continue to be overjoyed at Andy's every success and to marvel at how he has dealt with everything. I look forward to at least 50 more years of the same. Bruce Klauber.
Introduction. This memoir is in two parts. Part 1, Off the Record, covers my first 2 decades on this planet and explains how I became involved in the field of entertainment. Part 2, On the Record, details events leading me into the recording industry and follows my career from the early 1970s to the present. A significant portion of my destiny was firmly anchored at the intersection of 4th and Catherine Streets in South Philadelphia, a place where my family's first, second, and third generations resided and earned livings over many years. Southwark Paint Company, which my grandfather founded in 1918 at 801 South 4th Street, is where my father was raised, above the store, until he married my mother. He worked at the paint store all his life until he died in 2005. My uncle lived and worked in that building his entire life. As a child, my mother lived around the corner, less than a block away. Queen Village Recording Studios was built across the street at 800 South 4th Street. My older brother lived above the studio. I lived next door to the studio in a small 3-bedroom home that I renovated in 1975. My younger brother Billy lived at 807 South 4th Street for a few years. These locations represent my family's 3 generations of staking its claim at this crossroad. In 1982, I took over ownership of Southwark Paint, our 3rd generation to control that edifice and business. At the end of 2010, the Kahn family ceased operating any commercial enterprises or owning residential property along the 800 block of South 4th Street. The following pages are filled with the extraordinary events I've experienced. The stories, varied and often connected, detail many fascinating personalities, portraying situations that seem, even to me, incredible. Of particular note is my accounting that chronicles the final chapter of my family's 92-year association with a single street corner in Philadelphia, one that served both as a witness to and nurturer of a great many magical and musical events in my life. Part 1, Off the Record. Take it from letter A, a world of entertainment. In the corner of our living room on Drexel Road in Overbrook Park, a neighborhood west of central Philadelphia, lived a typical early 1950s model Dumont black and white television. The TV component was hidden within the real wood cabinet behind a pair of doors, ensuring it would blend in like any other piece of furniture. It shared its residence in this room with a wood case record player that was always cranking out popular music from the mid-20th century. A walnut grand piano occupied another corner of this room, harboring what would now be considered vintage appliances. Together, the wood trio of entertainment inventions provided the wellspring for my career in music. They served as bait for me, offering an endless supply of musical sounds I would first absorb and then immediately reproduce on the keyboard. Always playing with both of my hands, documented in a photo of my playing that big grand piano at the age of 7.5 months. I dazzled 3 living grandparents, both of my parents, their friends, and an army of relatives. All of them were entranced by this young boy who had discovered a surefire method for attracting attention to himself. Living with a seriously jealous brother 5 years my senior, I was forced to create unique interest in me. His sour attitude is corroborated in a telltale 8mm film clip shot the day I was brought home from the hospital following my birth on July 23, 1952.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.